It seems like almost every episode, we maybe get 1 or 2 episodes off in between Tommy Vext taking his general douchebaggery to the next level. And he has done it yet again, not to be outdone by himself. Tommy Vext, for those of you who are unfamiliar, quite honestly, I straight up would not even know who the fuck this dude is without you guys. The people who send me stories at info@killrockradio.com, people on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/killrockradio. So for those of you who don't know, Tommy Vext was formerly the lead singer of a band called Bad Wolves. Whenever you say shit about Tommy Vext, he has a little army of white knight defenders who run to his aid and will give you streaming figures of how much the Bad Wolves have been streamed and all that bullshit. Bottom line, your average person on the street may know of the Bad Wolves as a flash-in-the-pan, one-hit wonder who got lucky. They happened to be recording a cover of the Cranberries' classic jam Zombie at the time where Dolores O'Riordan, former Cranberries front person, unfortunately died of a drug overdose. As fucked up as that was, they were lucky because that got their name in the news. And all of a sudden, the Zombie cover, which was a completely artless karaoke-style zombie cover, you would think Tommy Vext would say, you know, we got really lucky here with this zombie cover. Let's capitalize by putting out some more great music and building our fan base and becoming the biggest band in the world. Tommy Vext instead said, I am going to go balls deep into, once again, far-right internet culture and ruin my whole goddamn life. There have been many different events since then that have led Tommy Vext to where he is. If you want to catch up on them, go to our YouTube page. I don't have time to rehash it all. But at this point in the game, Tommy Vext had left the Bad Wolves. Ever since then, he's just going around telling anyone who will listen, which is less and less people, that his record company had stolen all his masters. He said in the last year he recorded 3 albums. I got news for you, asshole. You have maybe 1 album and 2 fucking albums of B-side because you're such an arrogant fuck that you can't edit yourself. This guy thinks everything he does is gold. Every thought is genius. That's what's so fucking annoying. And when it doesn't work out, he just fills in the gaps with bullshit. So, Allen Kovac, the head of Better Noise Music, former manager to Tommy Vext, he is being sued. Tommy Vext is suing him for more than $10 million goddamn dollars. Tommy Vext claims there was a conspiracy to have him kicked out of the group. Now, depending on where you look, he either quit or was fired. It's not really clear what the fuck happened. Tommy Vext is also claiming that Kovac, who was identified as a Bad Wolves co-founder, told him he was not black enough to be in the band due to his political ideologies and support of former President Donald Trump. So Vext says that Kovac used racial slurs, including the N-word, around him. He's worked himself into such a corner. This fucking idiot has bent over backwards to impress all these fucking marks online that at one point he came out and said that he had never experienced racism in his life. He said racism wasn't a thing. This was at the point where he theoretically, now based on his current suit, would have been told he wasn't black enough to be in a metal band. Who the fuck has ever heard that? It's like amongst metalheads, if you ever accuse a metalhead of being a racist or something, they'll name the first goddamn band that has a black singer. You'd be like, fuck you, bro. I'm not racist. I love Seven Dust. Bro, I've been listening to King's X from way back in the day. It's clearly not a genre of music that's highly represented in the black community. So you would think him being black at all would be fucking plenty black to say whatever the fuck he wants. Listen, heavy metal is not an art form that traditionally tries to conform. It's certainly not an art form that shits on people that are different. I mean, you've seen so many amazing characters come up through heavy metal throughout the years. People who are just otherwise socially unacceptable. So it's not about that. I don't give a fuck that Tommy Vext liked Donald Trump, whatever. But he's full of shit. On one hand, he's caught up in all this like fucking hardcore far-right rhetoric that led him to eventually say there was no racism and shit like that. And now here he is, a victim of racism. It makes me think at some point he was full of shit. Kovac has responded to the lawsuit saying, quote, "I am disappointed to see these accusations from Tommy against me, 10th Street Management, and Better Noise Music. They are categorically false. In 40 years in the music business, I have never made any derogatory racist comments, been accused of doing so, or been sued by an artist. Tommy Vext, a self-proclaimed QAnon supporter, has dragged us into a ridiculous, unfounded narrative that falsely paints him as a victim. Tommy quit Bad Wolves in January 2021 after being abusive to his band members, and he has since waged an all-out assault against the band and its members on social media. Behind the scenes, he and his team of lawyers have been trying to extort the band and the record company for a big payout. Kovac adds that Vext was not successful and that he upped the ante and filed this bogus and spurious lawsuit to get leverage in contract negotiations. But this strategic ploy won't work. We will not be extorted, and we will defend and defeat these phony claims in court. And it goes on and on and on. And in the complaints regarding the N-word, he's not even saying he was called the N-word, that it was simply said in his presence. I mean, what a little sweetheart. I thought he said racism wasn't a thing. That's weird. Tommy made a statement to TMZ saying, quote, "For several years, I've poured all my energy and passion into building Bad Wolves. We've toured the world several times and charted 6 Billboard #1 singles. All the while, I've had to endure disparaging, manipulative, and at times racially charged misconduct from my former manager, Allen Kovac, and his record company, Better Noise Music. Allen has forced me out of my own band and is now attempting to slander and cancel me. After several failed attempts to settle amicably, I'm now forced to place this in the hands of the courts." If you'll remember, Tommy Vext claims that, as I said earlier, he recorded 3 albums worth of shit that's not being released to him because he wants to use those for his solo work. He's already done a GoFundMe to raise money for an album. And theoretically, if he had those masters, he could just put those out and take all these fucking morons' money and put it in his pocket. Because he loves to tell us how fucking rich he is, but he acts like a guy who just doesn't have a pot to piss in. And this story actually came across my desk, if you will. A comment to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/KillRockRadio. Totes for real says, "Have you noticed that truth is so hard to hear for so many? He spoke the truth, LOL." Talking about Tommy Vext. "The only thing that I can state against anything Tommy is saying involving his lawsuit is that he is also claiming racism. I do not buy that due to his past statements on racism, but it is facts of why he was ousted due to politics, LOL. Tommy was already known before Bad Wolves in the rock world by subbing as lead in Five Finger Death Punch, LOL. This guy's just laughing on loudly. You should research more. This was entertaining, though, but folks need to start liking facts instead of hating it so much. A high percentage of artists, even the best in their genre, didn't realize all they signed on for with the labels." And that's very true. That's happened to everybody. You mentioned Taylor Swift just went back and re-recorded her first album so she could make some fucking money off of it going forward. But like even in this comment, I would say to my boy Totes for real, Totes, if you're taking his previous statements on never having experienced racism, you're seeing lies every fucking where. But you always want to believe the thing that suits you the best. You know this fucking idiot refers to him leaving Bad Wolves as Vexit? Those are his words. The fact that he even said that.
This is why I, did Vex it.
He had the balls to say that to a crowd of people. That's how gone this motherfucker is. By the time it's done, watch it go, dude. He's not going to have shit. He's not only going to act like he doesn't have a pot to piss in, he will truly not have a pot to piss in. I mean, he can't make any money in terms of royalties or anything off of Zombie. That's not his fucking song. I keep hearing about all these #1 hits, but I mean, these days, it doesn't mean what it used to mean. I mean, anyone, name other Bad Wolves songs. I truly, not only can I not name one, I don't even have an inkling. It's not on the tip of my tongue. It's not like, oh, it's the one where he's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I straight up have not heard any other hit songs from Bad Wolves. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. Clearly, whatever. But yes, Tommy Vext, known for being a gigantic, throbbing drama queen. He continues his bullshit. I very much look forward to seeing this play out. Good luck, Tommy Vext. I look forward to your next move, sir.